Hi, my name is Tiyhk, and welcome to a YouTube video. In today's YouTube video, I'm going to be showing you off my PS Vita collection, as in its current state in 2020. So my goal with my PlayStation Vita is to collect all 317 physically released North American games. Currently, I have 98 of those games. What you can see on the camera right now is my first generation PlayStation Vita, which I actually got second. So this lovely model, I believe it has a 16 gigabit graphics card that I got from GameStop currently in it. It works, it charges, it's currently, if you can see the blue light, it's currently on. I could turn it on, but I'm not sure how that'll go. As you can see, it has trophy information. It has the right date. I don't use this one very often. I do like the OLED screen. It's great, but currently when I'm trying to use it, my physical games aren't working, so the only game I can play on it is the digital version I have of Gravity Rush. And well, that's not really an issue. That's just kind of like how it goes, but I like the feel of this one in particular. Like its beautiful thickness and its loveliness. But then next to that, I have the black version of the slim model, which is a little bit shinier with its LCD screen. Usually these just sit on my dresser, hanging out in the back. Lately they've been sitting on my desk. I've been playing this. On this one in particular, I've been playing Galgun Double Piece or Shantae Half Genie Hero, and so. This one I think cost me $180 on Amazon, but I'm also going to be showing you guys the current prices of all of the games according to price charting. And then this one I bought from someone on Facebook Marketplace for like $100. So, they listed it at $100 and I got it for $80. So worth it. But this little model has an 8GB memory card in it currently. I thought I'd have more on this one because I'd play this one more. I just like the feel of it and like the look of it better, but this one's been more reliable. Especially with like this one, the slim model having the updated charger port with the Android micro USB, and then this one needing its own special charger, which some of my friends were talking about. They can't charge their Vita because they don't have the charger anymore, and that made me laugh. Anyways, okay. So let's get on to the games. So the first stack of games I'm going to go through is the games that I have that I don't have cases, that I don't have covers for. So all of the games I have cases, because I tried to either buy aftermarket cases or like these are ones I bought from GameStop, and then these have like the GameStop cases. So the first game in this list is Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, the Vita version. I played this on the PC. I've tried to play the Vita version a little bit. I just didn't like it as much as I like the PC version, but also I like it. I also just noticed that they pasted an E onto the case, which is pretty funny. I've never actually noticed that before. Then I have the OG FIFA Soccer, Hot Shots Golf World Invitational, which apparently, according to everyone, is one of the best games on the Vita. I believe it was released near the launch and is one of the launch titles. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, the fighting game with all your PlayStation characters. Haven't played this. Most of the Vita games, I'm sorry to say, I haven't actually played. Then we have MLB The Show 13, one of the many sports games on the Vita, and one of the only ones I have that's actually open. Lego Batman 2, the DC Superheroes, which we all know is the DC Superheroes game, and the Lego games, like everything, the Lego games were just kind of released on everything. Then we have Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, one of the many Arkham games. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Street Fighter X Tekken, one of the many fighting games. Little Deviants. Borderlands 2, which was apparently released on everything. Wipeout 2048, which is a series I never really got into. Lego Marvel Superheroes for the Vita. Rayman Legends. And Bad Apple Wars. I don't remember what the rest of it is. The DOE, GS, EXL. I do not remember what all of that stands for. My apologies. Continuing on with the Vita thing. Enjoy my lovely fan over there. Have a Little Big Planet for the Vita, which I own a PS4, and I know Big Planet came out on the PS3, and I never really got a chance to play it, and I think I would enjoy it from what I've seen. Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. God Wars, Futures Past, which I meant to have in the other pile, but forgot to put in the other pile. MLB The Show 14. So the sequel to MLB The Show 13. Also, my favorite thing on this is that it's official by MLB. Denbunky Gecko. Dengeki Bunko. Fighting Climax. This actually... way back when the Vita was initially released, I was really into a certain scientific railgun, so the fact that Misaka Makoto was in this was like a large selling feature to me. And so for a long time I really wanted this game. That when I bought my Vita Slim, this was the first game I ever got on the Vita. So I'll always have a special place in my heart. FIFA 15. The Nonary games, Zero Escape. No, this is just the Nonary games. My apologies on that one. That is a different game. Resistance, Burning Skies, and apparently something is falling out of it, which is an online pass for Resistance Burning Skies. The Final Fantasy X and X-2 remake, one of the best Final Fantasy games, but currently, or two of the best Final Fantasy games, but as we currently know, Final Fantasy VII remake is out, and everyone that has played it is enjoying that. BlazBlue, Phono Chrono Phantasma, one of the most interesting games I picked up. I went to a retro game convention nearby where I live, and I played BlazBlue on the PlayStation 4. Then I saw this, and then I picked it up, and I'm like, I was doing multiplayer with my friend, and I didn't realize there was an in-depth story. And that surprised me. So, here we go. This is Code Realize, Future Blessings. Shantae, Half Genie Hero, which I enjoyed this. This is a really fun platforming game, and I'm into platformers, and this is a game that I initially got that didn't have a case, and so I went on eBay. And then there's a dude on eBay that sells aftermarket cases with pre-printed images, and this was one of them. And it's not a bad quality Vita case. This is also I had to write a card for it. It's not a bad quality case, but also you can kind of tell that it's a little bit stuck because the image doesn't exactly fit, and you can tell the coloration is off from other things. Then we have Silent Hill, Book of Memories. Tearaway, one of the launch games on the Vita. A game I've been thinking about playing, but haven't played. I know they've released it on the PlayStation 4, but I haven't touched it on there either. Galgun Double Piece, which is a game that I recently have been playing, and I'm very confused, and I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but I'm going to continue it, see where it goes. Lego Batman 3, Beyond Gotham. I'm kind of sad they didn't release the initial Lego Batman on the Vita, because then I could have had the trilogy. Axiom Verge. I think this is Ninja Gaiden 2 Plus Sigma? Or Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Plus. One of those two things. No, it's Ninja Gaiden 2 Plus Sigma. Earth Defense Force 2, Invaders from Planet Space. Rayman Origins. One of the two Rayman games released on the Vita. The other one is Rayman Legends, which we'll get to later. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3 Generation. So the third the third Hyperdiptunia game released on the Vita, which I believe these are also released on PC and PlayStation 4 as well, along with other consoles. The Wolf Among Us, one of the many Telltale games, and one of the better Telltale games, and one of their more recent ones before they closed the studio. My favorite Telltale game, though, is always going to be Back to the Future one, because that was just one of the better ones. Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Apparently I have 2 copies of Lego Batman and did not realize it. I'll have to remove one of those from my collection. Drive Girls. A game that I have played, and I think it's interesting. The car combat thing is interesting. I think having girls transform into cars is an interesting story for a visual novel, but I'm 100% not really sure about it. But I enjoyed what I played of it, but I got annoyed because it was harder than I thought. Le Mans Electric Symphony, I think it's a rhythm game. I haven't actually played it. It was one of the first games that I picked up with the Vita, and it tells me that there's a memory card required, which is one of the only Vita cases I've seen with that. The Walking Dead Season 2. Legends of Chima. My bad. SpongeBob Hero Pants. A fun game, but if you're watching this in 2020, one of the better SpongeBob games, Battle for Bikini Bottom, just got a remaster called Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and I would recommend playing that game over this game. Not that this game is bad. This game, I think, is based off the second movie, which I'm not sure how many people watched it. I didn't watch it. But this game, from what I've seen, like footage of, doesn't look that bad, but it just confuses me with how they made everyone look. Alright, the next game we have on the list is Terraria, which the Vita version, of course, doesn't have the the final update, so I would recommend playing it on the PC, where you can get the final update. Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time, the 4th game in the Sly series. Hyperdimension Neptunia 2, Rebirth 2, Striker Sisters Generation? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Hyperdimension Neptunia 2. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2, Sisters Generation. Hyperdimension Rebirth 2, Sisters Generation. FIFA 14. It's FIFA licensed. Mod Nation Racers Road Trip. Mortal Kombat for the Vita. Excuse me for saying this wrong, but Haokui Kyoto Wins by Idea Factory. The only Madden game released on the Vita, Madden 13. Dungeon Hunter Alliance. For some reason, I always think this is Dragon Hunter Alliance, and I know for a fact that it's not. The Lego Movie game, which I also have on the Wii U. I have a Wii U collection as well. The Vita's not the only thing I collect for. The Vita is just the biggest collection. But the Lego Movie game, which I bought a copy of the Lego Movie game, and then they gave me 2 copies of it, but I also wanted like Lego City Undercover, and then they gave me 2 copies of the Lego Movie game for the Wii U, and I'm like, I don't need the second copy of the Lego Movie game. Hyperdimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed. So this is the 4th Hyperdimension game released on the Vita, but I don't have the first game, and I accidentally thought I didn't have this game, and I had 2 copies of it for a bit. Then I gave it to my local game store. Aegeus of Earth. Aegeus of Earth. One sec. Aegeus of Earth. Protagonist Assault. One of the many Uncharted games. The one for the Vita, Uncharted Golden Abyss. I don't know if there's anywhere else you can play that other than on the Vita. Valhalla Knights. Ys Memories of Salsetta. Undertale, a game loved by everyone. And a fun fact about my copy of Undertale, it comes with this little booklet, but whoever owned the game before me didn't open the booklet, and I feel I would be weird opening the booklet as well. So whatever is in this booklet, I do not know, because I do not want to break off the plastic wrap. But Undertale. Also, a lot of the Vita games, if you noticed, have PlayStation TV compatible, which is a version of the Vita that was released by Sony, that you could put into your TV and then play your video games on your TV with like your DualShock 3 or DualShock 4 controller. But the PlayStation TV failed miserably, and you can buy one on Amazon if you really want one. Or you can find one at like a local shop if they have them. Dead or Alive 5 Plus, one of the many Dead or Alive games. A game that got released on everything, Harry Potter, years 5 through 7. 7 Scarlet. It's 7 Scarlet. I think it's 7 Scarlet is what the name of the game is called. This is one of the games I have that actually is not opened at all. It's a completely new sealed copy, and I'm very proud to have a sealed copy of this. Not that it's Gravity Rush, which I initially got as a digital version, one of the best games on the Vita according to many people. I've enjoyed what I've played of it. I know you can get the sequel on the PlayStation 4, and I want to beat this game before I can play the sequel. So this particular cover I printed myself. I made it a little bit too small. As you can see, it kind of doesn't cover like this section here, but like the back is fine. But I can make it a little bigger to fix it, but I also like... It's more for my aesthetic thing to like when I want to look at the side of the game, like if I want to look at the side of this, then I have it, and that's the main thing, that's the main like thing on the shelf. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, a pretty good shooter game for the Vita. The Vita's nicer than the PSP with the 2 dual analog sticks. Disney Infinity, which I have no way of playing this game, but I did buy it, and for a while it was sealed. I only opened it because I wanted to. And this is Disney Infinity 2.0. It's harder to get 2.0 copies for anything else. The Vita was easy because the only thing it got released for. We have the God of War collection, which contains God of War and God of War 2. The original God of Wars. I believe this was also released on the PlayStation 4, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. I do not remember. I know God of War got a remaster, and that game is based on Nordic mythology, and I believe all of these are based on Greek mythology. I'm not really big into God of War, but the games look super fun. Freedom Wars. Then we have Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. So we have Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. I don't have a comment on this. Need for Speed Most Wanted. A game that was also released on the PlayStation 4. I've played it. I've enjoyed it. But also, like... Yeah, it's a racing game. You take what you get. Need for Speed's always been a series that's been around in my life, and I enjoy most of them. Lego Marvel Avengers. A game that I owned on the PlayStation 4 and then actually sold back to GameStop because I just wasn't having a fun time with it. I was trying to play it with my friend, and him and I were just like, this game is really, really boring. Like, the only Lego game I played before that was the original Lego Star Wars game, and that game was, like, super fun. But that's also before they ruined the Lego games, according to some people. Then we have Sword Art Online, The Lost Song, which also says you need a memory card of at least 7 kilobits. Sorry, 768 kilobits. Yeah, Sword Art. The Sly Cooper Collection, which I believe this comes with the first game on the first 2 games on the disc, and then the third game is not included. Yeah, so the Sly Cooper Collection comes with about... So then we have the Sly Cooper Collection. So it says there are 3 games fully digitally remastered in HD. The only problem is the first 2 games come on the cartridge. The third game doesn't come on the cartridge. So I actually don't have a copy of the third game. I only have a copy of the first two and then the fourth game, because that was separated. We have Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, one of the other Code Realize games. I like their hats. I like the cover art on this. That's about it. Haven't really touched it. Lego Lord of the Rings, the sequel to Lego the Hobbit. Of course. Then we have Tiyhk, The Age of Demons. World of Final Fantasy. Spy Hunter. I believe this is season 1 of The Walking Dead. Yep, this is just my copy of season 1 of The Walking Dead. I just don't have a case for it. I don't have a new covered case for it. Then we have Yeast. I said Yeast 3. This is Yeast 8. Lacrimosa of Dra? Of Damn? I don't know. Then we have Yeast 8. I don't know how to pronounce the title, and I'm not going to, because I'm going to mess it up. MLB The Show 2012. Somehow I managed to find myself a sealed copy of MLB 2012 and 2019, and I'm like, it's pretty awesome. I don't care for baseball, and I don't really care for baseball games, but it's nice that I was able to get a sealed copy of this. The Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which contains Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. The prequel to Lego The Lord of the Rings, Lego The Hobbit. One of my favorite books, actually, and I would enjoy playing this game. I've heard many good things about it, though I don't know how good it is compared to the Hobbit game that was released on the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. This case, which is apparently open. Muramasa, Rebirth, which is a game that I looked for, and I looked at the case and I thought it looked interesting, and kind of what got me into collecting everything for the Vita. Touch My Katamari, one of the Katamari games. I've enjoyed Katamari, Beautiful Katamari on the 360, and I've enjoyed what I've played of Touch My Katamari. Though it was a lot easier. It seems a lot easier to play on the older Vita than it does on the newer Vita. So, because it was more built for the older Vita anyway. Then we have Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, the only version released for the Vita. It's a fighting game I've played before on other consoles. I haven't particularly played the Vita version. I just own it in my collection. Then, of course, we have Smart As, which is a wonderful, wonderful game, which you can just try and be smarter than people. I need some Goo Gone, as you can see up here, to remove the stickiness of this. This is also one of the other, prints that I printed myself, and I didn't make it that big. I made it too small again, and that's just how that works. And I tried to remove all of the pre-owned GameStop stickers, but apparently I missed this one. So, oh well, I missed one. The first limited run game I ever got, which I actually didn't get from limited run, I don't recall where I bought it, but it's one of the limited run games I own, and it is sealed. And I have I'd love to play it, but I can play it. I'm thinking about getting it on PC at some point to play it, rather than play it on the Vita. I just like having this copy sealed. It's special to me. It has a special place in my heart. And then we have Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, the second game in the Danganronpa trilogy. I'm waiting till I get the first game before I touch the second game, and then the third game. Yeah. So. Then, of course, I have Lego Jurassic World, starring Chris Pratt, everyone's favorite boy. Then we have Sega 3, Absence of Detention, which I think this is the only Sega game. Disgaea 3. Then we have Disgaea 3, Absence of Detention. I believe this is the only Disgaea game released on the Vita. Then we have Unit 13. Then we have Akaba's Beat, which is the prequel to Akaba's Beat Undead and Undressed. And then, of course, I have the Assassin's Creed, the other Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Chronicle. Then I have Lego Ninjago, Shadow of Ronin, the Lego Ninjago game, which I think they kind of died off. And then I have one of the more interesting pieces of my collection, and that is this game. So, the reason why this is one of the more interesting pieces of my collection is because for a long time, I thought this game in particular was a North American release game because it was released on literally everything, where the original was only released on the Wii. So I'm like, yep, this game is totally not released for anything else. Totally not released for anything else. So I thought it was just those consoles, and then I'm like, yep, this was totally released on the Vita. Come to find out that this isn't even a Region 1 game. This is a Region 2 game, which means it's in Spanish. So my brother was the one who got me this game. I asked him for it for my birthday, and I'm like, hey, can you get me a copy of this game? It's one of the harder games on the Vita to get. And I thought it was North American. I didn't have an accurate list at that point, so I thought it was just fake. So then I learned that it's not American at all, and it's not on the NA list because it was never released in the NA territory. So I didn't know that until I got the game, put it in my Vita, and everything was in Spanish. And I just started laughing because I made my brother spend $40 on a game that didn't matter, that's in Spanish. That, since this game is mostly a musical, they like to sing, and so like the musical number just started in Spanish, and there's no way to change the language, and I'm just like, this was an interesting purchase. And so I'm not going to get rid of it because I mean it doesn't count toward my complete North American collection. But luckily, since the Vita isn't region locked, I have this as like a fun backup thing. So yeah. And then the second, so the last two games I have are both from Limited Run, and they're both in their original packaging. The first game is Proteus, which I don't usually play. It usually stays in this blind box. It's unopened, as you can see, and then it came with a wonderful card, one of the Limited Run cards, and these are pretty nice quality cards. They're better than Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. But yeah, these just stay in these boxes on their own little shelf, far away from everything else. I was going to say, the next Limited Run game I have is Damascus Gear Operation Osaka. This is in a case. This box actually is a little bit more damaged. This Limited Run box is a little bit more damaged than the other one, just because it kind of just happened that way. But this card's cool too. I don't usually, like I said, I don't usually touch these. They're not open. They're in my collection because they're harder to get. I got lucky being able to buy two during the holiday sale. But I don't know how I'm going to complete my Vita collection without scalpers going over stuff. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video showing you off my PS Vita collection. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see me playing games stupidly, feel free to follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Tiyhk. All links to my socials will be in the description of the video. I don't usually stream Vita games, but I stream from a variety of other consoles, and PC included. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Bye.